Hello and welcome to Cafecito Break. And I'm your host, Rosangel Pérez, one of the Pérez sisters. Welcome to our New York Freedom Spaces, where we are focusing primarily on the New York City elections. And we here are common sense folks that love New York. This is what we have in common. And we are excited to introduce candidates to you that can definitely make a big difference for New Yorkers because they are not only common sense, they're going to put New Yorkers first. Already have the ear to the people who live in these places. And guess what's going on? A lot of residents in New York, they are feeling like they are unheard. They're feeling like they're invisible. And it's creating a lot of concern for everyone out there. So, thank you for joining us today. Before I pass the mic to my co host, please take a moment to like, share, subscribe, comment, contribute to everyone here who is present. We are all independent in our own right. My sister and I are indie media content creators, producers here in New York City. We are celebrating 13 years of Cafecito Break, and we are grateful to be here standing strong with all of you today and my brothers. Passing the mic on to Mark for NY and also Cozy, and we are going to be speaking to Ramses Frias, who is a very strong candidate that you should be paying attention to in Queens. So take it away, Mark.
Hello, fellow freedom loving Americans. Mark for NY here. Good to be back for another edition of the Freedom Fighters podcast. I'm a former state assembly, city council, and U.S. Senate candidate in New York, currently trucking all over the country, but I do keep an eye out on New York City politics, and it is a very real threat that we will have a communist mayor soon, and we have to do everything possible to prevent that. Adams just dropped out of the race. I'm going to go in and curse some people out on the second half of this program, but I'll keep my introduction short and I will pass it over to Cozy, who will introduce our special guest for the day.
What's going on, everybody? Well, I'm a former healthcare worker that was fired for refusing the COVID shot. And before that, I was into medical freedom, pretty much a huge activist. And, that's what I do. Ever since I lost my job for refusing the COVID shot, I've been doing whatever I can, spreading the message, uh, whether it's rallying, creating music, and whatever I can do to get the message out. But enough about me. Today's guest is a very special guest. Um, can you guys mute yourselves if you're not talking, please? Because I'm hearing I'm hearing issues.
Yeah, me and Cavacito were muted already, so.
Okay. Okay. So, sorry guys, lost track here. So, I want to introduce Ramses Frias. I met this gentleman back about a year ago in Washington Heights. He was speaking, and I really felt him. I really felt that he was a genuine person, and I really connected with him because I lived in Jackson Heights, right? I lived in Jackson Heights for a couple of years, and Elmhurst. And I also grew up around Jackson Heights. I would go there. I even worked there when I was younger. So like, I really care about Jackson Heights, and I always saw that it had its problems, but over the years, it gotten like crazy. Like it's gotten a lot worse, right? The prostitution, people selling cocaine right in front of people, right in front of kids, like just broad daylight. I couldn't believe it. And I moved out of there because for my kids. I got out of there as soon as I saw this stuff getting worse. But now it's like really crazy. So I'm really happy and proud of Ramses for stepping up because I feel this man. I know he's real because he lives in that community. He grew up in that community, and he really wants to do good. And you could hear in his voice. You could hear it when he's protesting out there. I see him rallying with women, mothers, fathers, children with him, and he's doing his part. He's stepping up like a man to protect his community, and I love him for doing that. Ramses, welcome along, brother. Welcome to our show, and I want you to just tell us whatever you want, man. Start wherever you want to go. I don't
You
hear you,
gotta
brother.
unmute yourself.
Unmute.
First and foremost, thank you for having me here. And my biggest thanks always goes to Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. The only reason that I'm able to be on this here with you guys and talking to you guys, this is very special. This is a great platform that you guys are providing everybody to have an understanding of our point of view of things and how we see the common sense needs to be more common these days. So again, thank you guys for providing this type of platform and reaching out to the masses and letting people know that we're out here and that we care about what's going on. Now, as far as my neighborhood and as to why I'm actually running for city council of District 25 in Jackson Heights and Elmhurst, it's just we are being inundated with crime, from violent crime to prostitution to open air drug markets, open air drug use. It's a real major issue. Sanitation's an issue. Our education for our children are lacking so much, and it's time for a change. It's time for a real voice for somebody that's from the neighborhood, born and raised in Queens, New York City. Blocks away from where everything is going on, where everything bad is happening. Just the other day, we had a fatal situation where a young lady was being solicited by a drunk individual in the street. A fight ensued between the young lady's boyfriend and the gentleman. The gentleman grew angry, jumped in his car, went to run them over, which was a family and just people hanging out. Went to run them over, ends up running over the young lady. Unfortunately, she lost her life in a gruesome manner right in front of her mother, and it's something that should have never happened. It should never occurred, and it happened, a few blocks away from where I live, where my children have to walk past and go to school, and or just go to the supermarket. This is on a major avenue. It's called Roosevelt Avenue, and it's a major problem. Roosevelt Avenue, from Flushing all the way on down to the Woodside, even Sunnyside, has a major issue when it comes to crime, gang related crime at that, because we have people selling counterfeit, identifications, from social securities to licenses to passports. We have prostitution just about on every corner of that 2 mile or even longer stretch of Roosevelt Avenue. We have children walking past brothels on a regular basis. Just here on 90th Street and Elmhurst Avenue, right next to a brothel, is a Dunkin' Donuts and a Taekwondo school. And this is where like kids go to learn self defense and you know gain some values, gain some techniques and skills. And literal brothels are right in front, with prostitutes just parading themselves out in front, dancing, pulling men off the street. And it's an issue. It's an issue that needs to be put in the forefront, as I've been doing. I've been fighting for this for at least the past 2 3 years, even it feels longer now. And it's something that needs to come to an end immediately. Our families are suffering. We hear it in their voices. Quality of life continues to go down, and everybody's just tired. We're frustrated, and a lot of our cries fall on deaf ears. So I make myself as loud, as boisterous as I can be, and represent the voice of the people. I call myself the people's champ because I'm here for them. I'm here to do God's work through put God's work through me so I can represent the people of this area. This isn't like a game that I'm playing. I'm not trying to gain any type of celebrityship or anything of status. I want to become a city council member to fix New York City, to fix my neighborhood, to assist in bringing back the beauty of this wonderful city. I'm from the most diverse area in all of Queens. We all get along great. We love each other here. We defend each other here. We stand up for each other. We see a neighbor, something going on. Guess what? My boys that are on the block, we're all going to go and rep for that person. We're going to make sure that everybody's taken care of. We're not going to allow people to get assaulted, especially if we're outside. So there is a sense of community. There is camaraderie. We have people that love each other here, and we can boast that and we can push that to the forefront. We have so many cultures here. Just about one person from at least every part of the world lives around here, or at least a few blocks away from where I am in Elmhurst and Jackson Heights. You have Sunnyside, you have Woodside, you have Flushing. So many things that come together and convene in this beautiful part of Queens. But our representatives fail us day in and day out. The voice of the weak doesn't get heard, and that's not right. It's not supposed to be that way. That's where the voice of the people is supposed to really come on strong, and our representatives are supposed to fight for that. It's a shame that, a person, I was just a regular guy. I'm a dad raising his kids. I was just living my life, but then too much evil was happening in my neighborhood that I had to say, all right, it's time. I feel like God put this in, instilled this in me and said, we need you to step up right now. We need you to speak for everyone. We need you to represent your family this way. I need you to represent the church this way, and to show that we are here, that we are working hard, that we want a better change, that people came here for that American dream, can strive to reach that American dream. It's not fair to come here from another country thinking that you're doing everything correctly, but around you it just keeps you down. You feel this weight on your shoulders. You come off the train, instead of saying, all right, I'm home, I feel good, it's like, damn, I'm home. I have to avoid this one block so I don't see this. I have to be careful when I'm walking down this neighborhood, this block in this neighborhood, so I don't get assaulted. I have to worry about just passing by a brothel and pimps. What if, we have to worry about our daughters, our women just walking in the street, and then, men going up to them thinking just because they're outside that they're a prostitute. These are things that don't need to happen in this area, and it doesn't happen all over New York City, but it's happening here, and it's been happening here for years. I just found a clip from 32 years ago on New York 1 of people marching on the same avenue, speaking about the same issues that I am today. I was a kid then. I was about 12 years old, and still this issue is here. Now it's my turn to talk about this. It's my turn to fight for it, to fight for the people, to make sure that our voices are being heard. But within those 32 years, something should have happened already. The people in office throughout that whole time had enough time, and majority were always Democrat. They had their time to do something, and they failed, and they continue to fail, and they continue to stay quiet, and they continue to say, you know what, your voice doesn't matter. Well, guess what? This time it does. This time we're going out to vote. This time we have the neighborhood pushing hard. This time we're making things happen. And it's all happening grassroots. This is all coming from the heart. This is all real. This is the grit of New York City, really fighting back for something new, a new day, positivity, peace, tranquility, a place to call home and be proud of that home. I want children here to grow up and say, I grew up in Elmhurst. I loved it. It was amazing. I grew up in Jackson Heights. There were so many restaurants. Me and my friends, we were able to go out and do what we had to do, go play games, go to the park, not worry about drunks in the street, people shooting up on any other, any other corner on 37th Avenue. Like these aren't things I didn't see this growing up. It was out there, but I didn't see it in my face. I was able to walk up and down Roosevelt Avenue without a care, barely seeing anyone. You go there now, it looks like Times Square. I call it Slime Square.
Yeah, now tell us about the politicians there right now, the public servants there in Jackson Heights, because you mentioned they've been failing us, but not only have they failed us, right? They have escalated the problem, right? Now tell us a little bit about some of them that are promoting
So
the
we have,
decriminalization of prostitution,
that's right.
uh, and they think it's a great idea. Like, tell us a little bit about that.
So within the area, the first time you start really hearing about these things is through Senator Jessica Ramos, really championing this, calling it sex work instead of prostitution, just trying to give it like this, term, like this name, like it's gonna make anything better. You can't, it's shit, so you call it shit. You can't call it, just put sprinkles on it and say it's cake. You know, it's prostitution. It is what it is.
It's absolutely disgusting that she's categorizing that way. Like she's saying it's
Right.
work. Like this is work. Yeah, that's
Right.
legitimate work.
Justifying it, right? And
No,
you got
wait.
you have pimps, you have people trafficking these women. These women are being abused, these women are being forced. You know, if there are some that are doing it willingly, that's what they're choosing, but there's a majority of women that are not. There's just recently a madam was arrested on from Roosevelt Avenue forcing somebody that was trans to prostitute themselves. Another female that she had on, in her possession, because she was the madam. She forced her to prostitute herself, and now she's arrested, which is, a change for something. But there's so much of it going on, and more of it needs to be cracked down. We have, Catalina Cruz, Senator, Catalina Cruz. We have State Assembly Stephen Raga here. We have State Assembly Jessica Gonzalez Rojas, City Council member who I'm running against, Shekhar Krishnan. They don't even mention these things. They say, "Oh, we have this plan to fix Roosevelt, to lighten it and make it nicer." You're not doing anything. What are they boasting about? That they were able to bring garbage cans into the area. That's your your one up. That's your what you're applauding yourself. You're
Yeah,
patting yourself on the back for.
they
You
need to
got
put
garbage
themselves.
cans.
They need to
I
put
could go to
themselves
Home
in those
Depot
garbage
and load
bags.
it up with garbage cans. I have no problem with that. I could get a group of people to donate garbage cans. We can get garbage cans. We need the garbage out of Queens. We need the garbage out of Elmhurst, not garbage cans. We don't need to keep on bringing it all in. And they're allowing it. It's a problem. Like, how can you allow it? Why ignore it? Why? Because you don't live on that side of the train tracks, so to speak. Like, we're on the bad side of the wrong side of the tracks, right? Because it's the other side of Roosevelt. And Roosevelt is like that division. Because when you get to 37th, it starts to get nicer. 35th Avenue, then the city council member here now has an open street. They call it Paseo Park. It's not a park. It's just streets closed off, and you're causing traffic everywhere else because of it. It was helpful during COVID. You raised $88 million for a closure of a street. For what? For concrete dividers? 88 million for the DOT to come in and just upend people and get them all riled up because they can't park their car, drive through there, ambulances can't get by. It's just an issue. But they continue to allow these issues to happen, and they create these issues and accept and make people accept it by force. This is not how things are supposed to be done, right? We're supposed to ask, all right, guys, are we still do we still need this? Is this still helpful to the community?
Mhm.
$88 million could have funded so many vocational programs to get our children into great positions after high school, if that's the case, or funding schools, funding after school programs. We could have, with $88 million, could have opened up community centers that are lacking in this
Yeah.
area that can provide skills from children all the way to adults.
Yeah,
It's
isn't
it's
it
just
isn't
too
it
much.
funny? Isn't it funny how the Democrat Party likes to say, "Oh, I'm going to fix this problem." They go to fix one problem, and it causes a massive problem somewhere else. You can't fix the congestion problem this way, the way they're trying to say, because you have the same amount of cars, the same amount of people. You're just shifting the problem from here. You're saying, "Okay, you can't park here," but they're going to try to park everywhere else. So you're not saving the environment. You're not doing anything but making chaos. You're pissing people off, and you're destroying the community. They do that with everything, with rents. We're going to lower the broker's fee. You know what I mean? They tell you, oh, don't worry, you don't have to pay a broker's fee, but then they don't tell you that now the broker is going to pass it on to the tenant, the landlord. Now the landlord is going to raise the rent. It always backfires, and it always hurts the working class and the poor the most.
They hide all of their plans, right? And like, they make it seem like it's so great, but the hidden agenda is just always comes to light, and it always hurts us. It's just like right now with, they're claiming affordable housing. We have units that are available. Landlords can't do anything, can't rebuild, can't fix, can't update these units and get them out there for people because they can't raise the rent so that they can pay for that unit and then make it available. So we're essentially we're hurting people that are owners of private property. And
Absolutely.
we need private property, and we need to be able to make these differences.
It's
Ramses,
destruction
I'd
by
like to.
design. But go ahead,
Oh,
Roseanne.
sorry. There's so many things you've covered that I'd like to ask some questions, and I'm sure maybe Mark and Cozy, because well, first, you know, how do you feel like, are the constituents getting or having any success communicating their frustrations to whoever has been in service there as an elected official?
It's so sad because they send emails, they make phone calls, they go to the office, either the office is closed, they get an email back, or somebody will get back to you. They don't answer the phone. If they do answer the phone, we'll look into it. It's just a game. We have people that are in their offices just for show. Their pictures in the front of the building, it's a big old smile, and they're never there. They're never listening to anyone. It's just all for show.
Okay, that matches that matches my personal experience, and maybe Cozy and Mark might highlight their wanted to also say something that you mentioned that is also something that has affected our neighborhood in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, is they closed the street, and now they're pushing to make it, the street that they closed is a residential street. So now they're pushing to do, they do activities there, and now they're bringing more noise. Now there's all these bicycles and mopeds, and sometimes in the summer it's very noisy. Now they've added those big black cements. There is emergency vehicles, or sometimes like fire trucks that have trouble kind of going into. And then if that's not fun and more confusing enough, some of the streets, like if there's a little like a block, one goes this way and then the other one goes this way, and it's just one way. Do you know how many times I see people just continue to drive through? I feel like they're creating a maze to drive people trying to maneuver through the city, just physically, verbally. How can you communicate in circles like this? It's just not working. Not the bike lanes that they've instituted, where you have bike lanes and then the parking spot and then traffic and then the double lines and then the everything in reverse. I have seen a lot of almost accidents and people being knocked down. Now drivers have to be extra careful. I'm almost feeling like they're making it very difficult for anyone who has a vehicle to continue to have a vehicle. And yet these are the people, not all, but whatever is hijacking these people in leadership, they keep advocating that they're working for the common good of the working class citizen. But the working class citizen has cars. They may not have the luxury to own a bike and go just cycling just for fitness, just because it's so cool. And I'm just gonna be down my little block with my little dog and puppies. I mean, this is how they were selling open streets to me. You could walk your puppy down the block. And I got into almost a fight with them because I said, this is exactly what we call out as privilege and elitist. You are thinking a solution is a one size fits all, and you're trying to apply it into this neighborhood that has been classically working class.
Yeah, there's
So
in Astoria they just implemented a change in traffic and caused such a major issue for deliveries. These trucks have to come in and deliver for restaurants and supermarkets. Semi trucks can't get and can't navigate through there. All the streets are convening into one area from three angles to just be able to go one way, and a truck can't make a turn there. This like DOT is just going in. They're mapping things out. They're not making any type of adjustments. They're not seeing how it's really supposed to be. They're not using real life moments to determine, is this a good idea or not. They're just implementing things. They're wasting money, and they're just putting it out there, just causing an inconvenience for New York residents to just be upended, really. Because eventually, we have a majority of people that move here from other places. They're like, oh, it's fine with me. I don't have a car. I don't need to go through there. I don't mind walking. They're just trying to push these like 15-minute cities where everybody's kind of stuck into these little areas and have to live their lives within those that little 15 minutes that I can walk to somewhere. I can go to the supermarket, I can work from here, I can live here. I don't really have to go anywhere else. I don't need a car, or just use mass transit. How great is mass transit right now, right? We have issues, there's signal issues. The signals have been from year one of that. They created this system. It's still the same signal system. It hasn't been updated. We have, so many issues with crime on the trains and buses. People don't even want to get on there. They don't feel safe. So you're just forcing people to live a lifestyle that without freedoms, right? You're just convening people. You're putting them into little areas, saying you have to stay here. Like, this is no life. We have freedoms here, where you have the freedom to move around, freedom to go one place to another. And if you have a car, you should not be penalized for having a car. All right, this is your way out. You live in a shitty neighborhood and you want to go to a nice neighborhood so you can relax for 10 minutes. I'm getting in my car, I'm going over to a nicer neighborhood so I can have a nice view and feel calm before I come home, so I can decompress at least a little bit. And it's not even right that it's that way, right? I have so many people here that they won't even go shopping. They'll go shopping in like College Point, in Bayside, or anywhere else that's nicer, just so they can get the things that they need for their home, and then they have to get into the hood and then feel crappy, have this cloud over them, get them angry. But at least, they were able to get away just so they can go shopping and feel good about themselves and their home.
Yeah,
So
just as you were saying that, I was picturing them thinking us like we're like farm chick, like free range chickens. You're free
right,
range chickens. Don't worry. You can
you
like
have
just
enough
walk around
room, you
this
have enough space.
area.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, man, it's wild. It's wild what's going on these days, and these are the things that are being implemented by, the Democrats and the socialists that are really a part of this Democrat group. This is what they want. Socialism is just like communism, right? They don't want you to have private property. They want everything government owned. They want you to follow rules. They don't want you to be able to say certain things. They want to keep you with a certain mindset and brainwash you to believing that you don't really have a voice, that the government's going to do everything for you. No, we have to do for ourselves. This is what we were here for, right? We're a human. You have thoughts, you have a mind, you have things that you have to do, you have things that you have to get done. We use our mind and we do things the way we have to, the way we see fit, and that fits our lifestyle. We can't just, allow people to govern us and make government just the end all be all of things, because they don't get it right. They don't get it right all the time. And they don't even get it right most of the time.
definitely not. You hit the nail right on the head with the 15-minute cities, but we do have to wrap up the first half of the program that I'm going to air on TV on Brooklyn Free Speech. But yeah, the congestion pricing, taking away parking in neighborhoods all over. It doesn't matter whether it's Brooklyn, Manhattan. They close off parking for no legitimate reason. They just, want people to not have the option to have that car and have that escape, whether it's a temporary one just to a nicer neighborhood or to the beach or to the park somewhere, or a permanent one and just pack their stuff up and leave. So they're making it harder for New Yorkers to escape, and they're just making the quality of life worse and worse. It's destruction by design. They want to implement communism, but we are wrapping up the first half of the program. So for those of you joining on Brooklyn Free Speech, tune in next Saturday, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Brooklyn Free Speech, and we will reintroduce the program with more from Ramses Frias. All right. So now the one question that I have for you is, what are some of your plans to increase the quality of life in your district and just in New York City in general?
Definitely is working with NYPD, getting public safety in the forefront of everything. We need to work together with them. We need to get them back to a status here that's being respected. We need them to understand that, as a lawmaker, that I'm going to have laws that's going to help them with their job here, not hinder them. We can't keep their hands tied. So that's number one on quality of life. Sanitation is so huge. We have rats and garbage everywhere. We have no way of getting that taken care of. We need more funding into sanitation. We need guys working around the clock being able to pick up this trash, moving it out. We need crews out here cleaning up these streets for real. Not just, a quick street sweeper coming by and that's it. We need we need things implemented to make sure our streets are clean. And then education. We're lacking so much. Children are lost. these days, they don't have any idea of really what's a great way for them to get out, you know. And it's sad to say, to get out, because we don't want them to leave. We want them to be here and say, this is home. I grew up here and I love it here and I can find a great job here. We need them to do more vocational training. We need more skills out there, working in the health field, you know, working as a plumber. Right now, to become a master plumber would be great because the city is lacking. And now they just implemented these new rules where if you get a stove in your building, a master plumber has to come and install it into your apartment. And there aren't as many master plumbers in here to handle the people that are doing, that have a new stove coming in. They don't want the supers of the buildings to do these things. So we need more plumbers, we need more electricians, we need more construction workers, and we need to let children know that these are things that they can do and get, compensated extremely well for. This is not, it's not luxurious, but you're going to make a great living. You'll be able to supply for your family. You're working hard. It gives back in so many ways. You can be proud to say, you know what, I helped put those pipes in over there that are helping infrastructure. I helped build this massive building that people work in and live in. I helped put things together. So these are things that they can be proud of, things that they do with their hands, things that they use their mind to achieve. And then, of course, the health field. We need doctors. We need physician's assistants. We need X-ray techs. We need, people to do CAT scans and MRIs, radiologists, lab work. These are so many things that why aren't we the ones, pushing our children to get better at, right? Everything's about technology, but the thing is, technology always changes, and then it's just getting, easier with AI handling everything. So now we have to get back to where people are doing things with their hands and getting back to the real life things that people need. So these are the kind of things that I'm going to be pushing for, and in God's name, I'll fulfill that and make it happen for the city and make a great change and make people really proud to be a New Yorker.
That was part of my agenda when I was running for office as well, is bring in vocational training, life skills classes, kind of just in junior high school year, just a basic information about electricians and plumbers and things like that. Just something that you learn basic information, whether it's just soldering two wires together or
Yeah,
something like
anything
that.
that can
And just,
help. Even
you know,
even financial freedom, right? You need to
yep,
learn how to
financial literacy,
invest.
how credit works, and things of that nature. And you said it's not a glamorous life. You're not going to be a millionaire like you would be with being a really good lawyer or in financial services, or but
But
you know
it'll
a
be
lot of
enough for
there,
yourself.
but
You'll you'll, you'll make it.
there's lawyers who are paying for their student debt by bartending, because just because you become a lawyer doesn't guarantee that you're going to be successful. So,
Right.
and it's, there's people who take these degrees who have six-figure debt that are waitresses and bartenders and Uber drivers, and they're paying off their debt and they're not even using it. So yeah, it's might not be a glamorous lifestyle, but it's something. It might be a better choice of life where you're not struggling to pay off a student debt that you didn't even use. At least with, trade schools, you're going to use that knowledge and you're going to have a decent paying job.
Sure.
Now we're going into the second half, so make a note, cafecito. It's a little over 34 minutes. I'm about to go on my rant, and this is to all the conservative influencers who don't know shit about New York. I need you all to shut the fuck up, please, okay? They're out there right now telling people that you should vote for Grandma Killer Cuomo because Adams dropped out and Cuomo has a better chance to win than Sliwa. You have no clue what the hell you're talking about, okay? All you're doing is making it harder for Curtis Sliwa to win, okay? There's people like me and local candidates over the last 5 years that have been red pilling people in the hood so that they could vote Republican, and now all of you are fucking that up by trying to make it split the vote between Curtis Lewa and Cuomo. Mamdani and Cuomo are going to split the Democratic vote. Adams dropping out makes it harder for Sliwa, but it's still not impossible. Sliwa got almost 30% 4 years ago. A lot of red pills have been slinged since then. He could get 35% and theoretically win with 35%. 35% means 65% remaining. Divide that in half, that's 32.5% each between Cuomo and Mamdani. Now, I know it's not going to be an even split. Maybe Curtis Lewa needs to get up to, 40% to win, but it's definitely possible. And you guys telling Cuomo to vote for Cuomo is just making it harder for Curtis Lewa to win. He's out there in Brownsville. He's out there in the Bronx. He's out there in all these neighborhoods working his fucking ass off for you stupid influencers to go and tell these Republican voters in New York to go and vote for fucking Cuomo. You all need to shut up. And I'm sorry I'm cursing a lot, but really, you guys need to shut the fuck up. You don't know New York City politics. This is not Georgia where there's a runoff election. He doesn't need, Curtis Lewa does not need 50% to win. Okay, he does not need 51%. He could win with 35. He could win with 40. But we need to be all hands on deck. He got 28% with a conservative candidate taking some of the votes away. Okay, he will get 35 to 40%, and he can win with that if everyone goes and votes for him. I've had people DM me and ask me, I don't know what to do. Should I vote for Cuomo? No, do not vote for Cuomo. End of story. Okay, Lewa all the way. Keep your mouth shut if you know nothing about New York.
Listen,
And that's
these
it. My
people, this
rant
is
is
what I'm going
over.
to say, man. If you either believe in freedom or you don't, okay? It's like the people who are saying this are so pathetic. I hear you people in New York saying this. A lot of people in our community, grow some freaking balls. Listen, it's like you're saying, should I get hit? Should I get kicked in the face or kicked in the legs? Like he's going to kick me a little less. No, you want freedom. You don't want to get kicked at all. Okay? We don't
You know
want
what my
tyranny.
analogy is, Cozy? I'm sorry to
Listen.
interrupt you.
Yeah, let me
But
finish this.
my,
Cuomo already abused us. Cuomo got us thrown out of our jobs. Cuomo killed the grandmas. Cuomo sexually harassed women, and you're gonna pick this demon? You're gonna pick this demon? Listen, go for Sliwa. That's it. Enough. Don't say anymore. Vote for Sliwa and shut your mouth. If you want New York back, that's what you gotta do. We're not compromising. If you compromise, you're going to always lose.
here's my analogy. With Mamdami, they want you to eat shit out of the toilet. With Cuomo, they're gonna serve you the shit on a plate. That's the difference. Okay.
Exactly.
It's still going to shit with either one of them. Okay? It's just one is worse than the other. Not one is better than the other. One is worse than the other. They're both gonna bring New York to shit. You're muted, Ramses.
You got to remember that Cuomo is the reason that a lot of the issues that we have today came from, right?
The bail reform.
Bail reform. He always boasting about how he let all these criminals out. We have the walking wall trans law that's being abused to allow for loitering, to allow for the disorder in our streets. We can't get the police to do what they have to do. This is why the prostitutes are all out in the street at all hours of the day, flaunting and gallivanting and pulling men off the street and pulling young children into the brothels, right? Because of the walking wall trans law that him and Senator Jessica Ramos were able to put together. So Cuomo is definitely not the answer out here. We need our law and order candidate, which is Curtis Lewa. He's a fighter. He's been doing this for a number of years since I was a baby. This man has been out here. He's been out here for years. Again, back to that clip from 32 years ago with the Guardian Angels were out here protesting with the residents of Jackson Heights. They've been out here protecting individuals in every single borough. It's also a worldwide organization. He's the right candidate for right now. I can't give any light to Mamdani on anything. He's inexperienced. This man's never held a regular job in his whole life. He's spoon fed, right? He comes from a silver spoon type of lifestyle. This guy knows nothing about a struggle, and he wants to help people that have been struggling. You've never even been in it. You don't know what you're talking about, right? Go back to your little fake office that you're never in, and doing what you never do as a state assemblyman, which is not showing up for votes on certain issues, or just being part of things that are just going to continue to ruin New York. You're not the right man for the job. You got to go. And that's where New Yorkers need to step up, and step up for a real New Yorker, a man that's born and raised here, gave blood, sweat, and tears, and still does, in his age, to be out here talking to everybody in all of these communities, going out into every single hood. He's not afraid to get on the train, and he doesn't have, security everywhere with him. This man is out here doing his job. He's trying to reach the people. He's letting them know that, he's one of us, and he is one of us, and he deserves a shot. He deserves a shot. These other guys, they're over here just for show. Mamdani is always on TikTok, smiling all the time, and giving this fake facade, always giving these word salads, and double backing on all his issues. Bro, you can't even stand up on your own 2 feet. You can't even lift weights. I don't know what you're about, man. Just need you to step off, and let New Yorkers start to fix New York, because you're not gonna come here implementing socialism, and your false ideals, and quoting Martin Luther King like it makes a difference to inspire people. You're just a liar. You're doing this for fun, it seems, because your smile is so ingenuine, and
Oh yeah, I
it,
got a little comment about his smile too, because I
and
also prepared a statement
it's
that I'd
hurting
like to
people.
share.
It's hurting people, and we have people with delusions, believing that he has the Shangri-La answer to this city, when it's all it's going to do is hinder us and make everything worse.
Thank you for your comments. I enjoyed all of them, and I'm going to uh, double. I guess this is the fourth, but I double down. In August, we were going really hard for Sliwa, especially when we saw how everybody got so scared and they pivoted and they invested all these millions in Adams and Cuomo. I mean, especially Adams. Like we knew that was like we could have saved you money, but I digress. Here's the statement that I prepared, and this is for the Perez sisters. Let me have a cafecito break. Curtis Lewa loves New York. So just wanted to share that what inspired me to write this statement. And on behalf of the Perez sisters is that I do not like feeling shamed, guilted, or hearing from other independent conservatives or Republicans who are trying to shame those of us who are standing in our square and saying, no, we support Sliwa. We support Sliwa because he has demonstrated through his actions, not just empty words, that he can not only speak to a multitude of different people, from small businesses to people on the street to people who are in deep need of help in the streets. And he goes and he's always in every borough and he's consistent. We have seen him so many times in just the last 5 years alone. Anyway, this is our statement. Sad, shameful, and laughable, the state of New York City political affairs. Asking folks to support Andrew Cuomo is indeed insane and rooted in fear. We do not want to yield to a democratic machine that is destroying our city. Curtis Lewa loves New York and has proven it for almost 50 years. He can win if you show up to vote. Andrew Cuomo has lost our trust and he is elitist. We cannot forgive him for the thousands of seniors who died due to the policies he pushed and his decisions. Zoran has no job or budget experience. Zoran has no job or budget experience. Zoran has no job or budget experience. Yes, I'm repeating it 3 times intentionally. He is also elitist and has a smile no one trusts. Not to mention, Zoran attracts chaos and my way or the highway thinking kind of people. Do not blame Curtis Lewa if Zoran Mamdani wins. He has nothing to do with the failures of leadership and corruption in the city. The Perez sisters double down on Curtis Lewa for New York City mayor.
That was excellent.
You took the words out of my mouth, Ramses, when you talked about him not being able to lift anything. I was going to say the only thing he struggled with in life is trying to lift weights. That's his only struggle.
And he had help,
With
and he
his,
couldn't do it.
yeah,
He had spotters and still couldn't
with
do
a
it.
spotter he needed to lift what I used to lift in high school when I was a freshman. But Anyway, this goes to the voters who say voting is pointless. Sliwa doesn't have a chance to win. There's no point in voting. Oh, excuse me. You got to walk around the corner and take a pen and fill in a little circle over there that says Sliwa. That's so hard. It's going to take up so much of your life, and it's pointless, right? What, half hour of your life max if there's a line? Really? That's not worth at least trying to save New York City from a communist? You can't do that. You can't take a half hour, maybe an hour if the line is really crazy, and go and fill in a little circle for Curtis Lewa? Is it really that complicated?
Yeah.
Pointless
And
or
when it
not,
comes
is
to
it
the
really that
Republicans,
complicated?
So what
I
I
need to
think,
understand why the Republicans don't stand behind this man. This is our candidate. He's on the line. He made it, right? He got to the position to be the Republican candidate. We need to stand behind them. We need to show that as a force. We need to unify and show force. Because
absolutely.
down ballot, if down ballot works, it's going to start with him and it'll trickle down to the rest of us that are on the Republican ballot as well, and the conservative ballot, as I am myself. And he also has the Protect Animals ballot as an independent, of which I'm a part of as well. So we definitely need to get out there. We need to unify, and we need to stand behind our candidates. There are a
Yeah,
lot of
and I
great
think
candidates out there running.
it's going to take, like, by us, people like us, we got to step up as leaders and step up and show that we're for him. And it's going to make the people who are timid, people who are not really sure, because I the other day I was at the walk away event, and I saw people asking me, who do you think we should vote for? They were like confused and scared. I'm like, yo, simple, it's just Sliwa. That's who you want to vote for. Why are you listening to these clowns? Why are you listening to the conservative Joe Pesci? Why are you listening to other people out there that are causing issues? Okay, telling us it's going to be all your fault. If no, it's not going to be all my fault. Cut the shit. Vote for who you really want to. Who's you really want to, but in your soul, you know who's the right person. That's
The
who you
person
vote
that
for.
represents us and our morals
Exactly.
and our
A
values, right?
straight New Yorker who has paid his dues, who from a kid, I watched him on the trains, watched his whole organization as a child. I would be like, wow, like that's cool that these people are doing that. You know what I mean? Like you felt safer. And he, like Rose Angel said, he's been in and out of places. We trust him because he's been consistent. He's not like, I'm here today, I'm gone tomorrow. He would attend our rallies. He would talk to business owners and people in the street. You see him shaking hands with homeless people, and it's real. It's not for the movies. This guy cares. He's trying to clean up the city. So that's who we need. If you're going for Cuomo, you're just a loser. You're a despicable human being. So like, come on, man. We can't respect anybody who's doing that.
New York got to wake up. New York just has to wake up. It's time. Like I said,
If
we
it
have
was
great candidates for city council. Athena Clark in Brooklyn, Elijah Diaz in Brooklyn,
Absolutely.
uh, Janine. We have so many people running for great positions, and we just need to be out there. We got John Healy over here in District 26 running for city council.
Elijah, yeah.
We need to just make it happen. Gonzalo Duran. There's just so many great guys out there. Jason Murillo. We're just out there, and we have we're fighting for the people. We're all fighting together, and we all need to come together, stand behind our candidates, stand behind those that are really representing us.
Yeah, and you guys make me proud, man. I'm glad. First of all, I'm proud of you, brother.
Thank you.
I love you, brother. Like I see you out there, and the minute I saw you, the first speech that you gave, I immediately connected with you. I said, this guy's for real, and I wanted to support you from that day.
Straight up,
So
man. Straight up from the block, man. From the block. I'm
yeah,
from the hood like
exactly,
everybody else, man.
exactly.
Born and raised out here. This is just as real as it gets. My
And
parents
what I
raised
love
me a
about
certain way.
you,
We out here for the people.
absolutely, and what I love about you right now is like not only did you come here to talk about yourself, but this last thing you just did to support all the people who are just like us, and you gave them the platform, and that shows what kind of person you are because you lifted everybody with you, and that's why I trust you, brother, and that's why you all need to go vote for Ramses Frias. You need to go volunteer for this man. You need to go donate. Okay, matching funds will go a long way, right? If you get that.
That's right.
So even if it's $10, even if it's $20, don't go buy a
Every little bit helps.
yeah. Don't have a drink one day and give it to this man. That's
And we
it.
got Tyreek Goodman up in the Bronx doing a lot of great things too. He fights hard,
That's a
real
good
hard
guy.
too. We
Good
got
guy.
guys in the Bronx. We got guys all over the five boroughs. We need to represent. We need to stand up. Republicans need to wake up. We are a strong group over here in New York City. We have enough people. We can make it happen. You know, a lot of people
Absolutely.
have our values. They voted Trump in,
The
so
key
you know
is the key
somebody.
is the key is to believe. You have to believe.
That's
If you
right.
don't believe, you're gonna fall. You're gonna fail. You gotta believe. We have candidates, like you said. Just back them. It's been
That's
given to
right.
you. You're not doing any work. They're doing all the work for you. This man stepping up right here. Ramses Frias is here. All you gotta do is vote for him and spread the word about him and volunteer for him. That's it. Simple stuff. Simple stuff. You
Real
have
easy
Sliwa
grassroots
presented.
things that'll make a difference in New York City as well.
Absolutely. We presented you with champions. Let's go.
Let's
Get it
go.
done. Get it done.
Every local candidate like yourself, Ramses, that runs also helps Curtis Lewa, because even if you don't win, you talk to a lot of people and you sling the red pills to make it easier for him to win. So I definitely do appreciate that. If there's if this was a heads up battle, Sliwa against Mamdani, I don't think he would have a chance. Honestly, I don't think Sliwa has a chance. But he legitimately has a chance because the Democrats are splitting the vote. Don't let the Republicans split the vote with Cuomo as well, because that is not going to help.
That's
That
right.
is my message. The communist believes in Sharia law and he wants to destroy New York City intentionally. He is there as a freaking parasite to New York City. He wants to try to justify prostitution being legal as a good thing. He wants to destroy society. You know, I saw all these videos about the people speaking to like prominent Islamic people, and they say the radical Islamists in America, they will always support the left because the left is destroying. Basically, the left is destroying America, and that's what they want. So they want the left. They'll always vote for the left. The radical Islamists, they want to destroy. And this has nothing to, this isn't hatred against Muslim people, because there's conservative Muslims all over the place. And this
They're all
has
over
nothing
my
to do with
neighborhood.
religion or anything like that. We're talking about radical Islamists, death to America. They're uh, implementing politicians all over the country that are intentionally there to destroy our cities and our country as a whole, and Mamdani is one of them. And if there are people doing on the street interviews saying, "Oh, he won't denounce Sharia law. He wants to increase taxes on white neighborhoods. You're all okay with this?" And they're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah," like idiots. And unfortunately, New York is filled with a lot of TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, or in all different types of mental illnesses, and they don't know their ass from their elbow when it comes to politics. They vote for people for the dumbest reasons, and they're easily manipulated. So unfortunately, we have to deal with that in New York. But the good news is the Democrats are splitting the votes, and the mentally ill will go and vote for one or the other. We don't need to vote for one or the other. We have a legitimate candidate that doesn't need 50% to win. We just need to get him to 40 and he'll take it down. So let's make that happen. With that, I'll pass it back to Cafecito. I'm not sure if we're going to do final thoughts or how we're
Y-
going to.
Yeah, we could start wrapping for final thoughts, unless you want to bring up another little topic. But something that I wanted to share before we started to talk about final thoughts is that there are a lot of Democrats who are on the fence and they do not feel like they like either choice. And they are being peer pressured by their group to choose one or the other. It does us a disservice when everybody's fighting. And it might be better for everyone, even if we're so upset. And when I'm talking specifically from the point of view of operating in leadership capacities, we're all sort of like wearing those hats in some ways. When you have a little mouthpiece on the internet and you can communicate to masses, there are a lot of people on the left and the right that are communicating in such foul way that as a human being, I wouldn't want to be in their presence. They might have quote unquote or a lot of values that may be similar to mine, but they're not expressing it with etiquette. You know, it becomes dicey. Then I could understand why people get stereotyped into, oh, Republicans. Like, one thing that gets us in trouble a lot is, we make assumptions on in every place, right? So something I tell people is, just because someone is a conservative or a Republican, that doesn't equate them with being Christian. There are a lot of different people who are conservative or Republican that have a whole bunch of different ways that they communicate with their spirituality, and that's okay. We cannot be demonizing. And then here's another thing that's not winning anyone over. Can we keep the conversations on local efforts? Right now, people are focusing too much on something that's happening not here. And when you think about it, there's a lot of things that are happening not here that are horrible too. I could sit here and rant every single time I get on the mic about the shitty things that are happening in Puerto Rico, you know? So, yeah, I'm not a Bad Bunny fan, but I'm Puerto Rican. And when I see conservatives, for example, saying we need to deport him, or I'm like, do you not know he's Puerto Rican? Like, Puerto Ricans are Americans. And then you start highlighting your ignorance. I don't want to be in your presence. So a lot of us who are here, for example, in New York City, and circling back to the message that was shared so strongly, if you're not living in New York City, stay out of our politics right now. There's a certain cadence and a movement and an understanding that those of us who are boots on the ground, we know very, very well. And we get a lot of hate for speaking out. People see us as less than human sometimes. I shared with my sister in a little video that we've gotten, the worst comment was, somebody wishing to burn me alive, or for me and my sister to die of fentanyl. Why? Because we don't toe the line, because we are critical thinkings, because we're not gonna go and start advocating and be mouthpieces for something we know nothing about. Our focus here, if you haven't noticed, mi gente, is New York City. We love New York, and everyone here that we are talking to, they love New York too, and they serve New York in their way, or they serve the for freedom. And what does that mean? A lot of people have hijacked that word too, liberation, right? I have a lot of my Puerto Rican brothers and sisters who are talking about liberation, but for some reason, then lining and hand in hand, walking with the socialists. I don't understand that. That makes no sense to me. And then you talk about, defending people's rights, but when someone like me is in your presence, it's not welcoming. I can't be in my full colors. I have to shut down and be almost quiet, because just the fact that I might wear a MAHA might be uncomfortable. But they're all wearing all these Zoran memorabilia, and I'm supposed to be okay with it, and I am okay with it, but it doesn't go the other way around. And lastly, because this is really kind of like I'm wrapping my final thoughts and I'm passing it on, is I really do have a problem with Democratic leadership not being present to serve their constituents. I'm tired of time and time again. Cafecito Break has been boots on the ground for 13 years, and we started before the cameras. We started actually more than that in the Occupy days. So we have, a lot of experience talking to and going, knocking on elected officials' doors. Something weird happened, especially in 2020. A lot of these people have a freaking habit of having their doors closed. They tell you, email them, they don't call you or respond back. You show up at the door, they get frazzled. Oh, you don't have an appointment? I'm sorry, nobody's here. Sometimes You're lucky if they even open the door. And as Ramsey said earlier, it's a circle and a cycle. They say that they're for the people, but they are using us. They say that they are for the immigrants, but they have used the immigrants and put so many of these people that have crossed the border in very vulnerable positions. And I may not support this open border policy, but I am not down for anyone playing with people's lives for politics. It should end right now. We need to save New York. We need to work together. We don't need to like each other, but we must respect each other if we are going to save New York. Vote Curtis Sliwa, vote Ramses Frias, vote Athena Clark, vote Elijah Diaz. Who am I missing? Chime them in.
Tyree Goodman, like Fitzgerald in the Bronx. Also, so many great guys, so many great people out there, and you're definitely right. We have to stand up, and we're not getting our fair share. We're not getting treated correctly, but guess what? That's what makes us stronger. That's what makes us the right side, being on the right side of things. We're fighting for everyone, for everybody to have their freedom. We're not picking and choosing groups. We're not saying we're just this. We're accepting of everyone. Everybody here is diverse. We all are from different backgrounds and have different nationalities, and have different families, and we all look different. We don't all have the same ideas. We're not these cookie cutter looking Republicans that people expect. People see me full of tats and everything, and I say that I'm a Republican, and they're taken aback. They're like, "Oh, I thought you'd be a liberal. I thought you'd be a Democrat. I thought you'd be a socialist." But I'm just here for the people. I'm here to represent, and the party of the people is really the Republican Party right now. They're the ones that are listening to everybody, and we are gonna work hard. We are in the position to make a beautiful change in New York City. We are here to be able to restore morality to the city, to restore peace, to restore tranquility, to make sure that families are comfortable here, and that communities can flourish, and small businesses can grow, and private property can be attained, and no one messing with your freedoms. These are the things that we're fighting for. This is not a game anymore. Now we're fighting for each other's lives. We're fighting for everybody's life. We're even fighting for the liberals and progressives and Democrats to be able to say what they want to say, and not feel like they're going to be attacked for any reason. These are the things that we're fighting for. We're fighting for the real people. We're fighting for America. We're fighting for the United States. We are fighting for New York City. This is as real as it gets. And
Thank
don't
you.
forget, sorry about that. Don't forget, tomorrow we're celebrating Hispanic Heritage over at Bariles, 8314 37th Avenue. If you can come by 7 p.m., please come on by. We have a lot of great candidates that are going to be there. Curtis Lewa will be there. John Healy from District 26, City Council candidate. We have Gonzalo Duran is going to be there as well. Again, that's at Bariles, 8314 37th Avenue, starting at 7 p.m. And contributions can still be made to the campaign. You can visit ramsesfornyc.com to continue to make those contributions. And any contribution of $50 or more gets you a cool T-shirt. So don't forget to jump in, get on board. We got you set up with the swag. We got people, feeling good, and we're gonna make a huge change. We're gonna push for the people. We're gonna make things great again. We're gonna, as they say, right? Make America healthy again. We're gonna make New York healthy again. We're gonna make New York great again. We're gonna bring back the beauty of our city.
And
Thank you,
make New
guys.
York safe again. What day is that event again?
That is on September. What is tomorrow? The 30th. Am I
Gotcha.
right? Yep, September 30th, Tuesday, September 30th, 7 p.m., 8314 Bariles Restaurant, Sports Bar. Beautiful place. You guys will love it. Come on by. Great food, great people, great atmosphere, great ambiance. And it's a beautiful small business in our community here on 37th Avenue in Jackson Heights. An experience for everybody to come on by and see, firsthand the candidates that are fighting for a better tomorrow.
Cozy, your final
Awesome.
thoughts, and then I'll do a minute or two.
Yeah, my final thoughts. Well, I don't have much more to say, but get out there and just people need to see courage, right? A lot of people don't have courage. Like a lot of people, we take it for granted. People like us who are able to speak very openly and step up into the forefront like we do. I learned that from COVID. People would tell me I'm brave, but I didn't think I was brave, right? And then I realized after, like, oh wow, like not many people are comfortable doing stuff like this. You know what I mean? So like we have to, like, I know we said a lot of things today, but I didn't mean any disrespect to people, right? We have to think like leaders and allow people to educate themselves and also to express themselves, and by being the example. So by you just saying, you know what, I'm voting for Slee once, and saying it with your full belief, and the way you portray it and the way you project it out of your voice is going to encourage them to be like, you know what, he's doing it, you know what, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? And the more images we put out there, that's why I put this image up earlier. Put that image up. I'm going to blast this all over the city. So if you go to stickermule.com, I think it's like /Cosis Wellness. I have that up there. Just go buy them and just put them everywhere. I'm going to post everywhere. And the more we see these images, the more power people are going to feel, and the more the more they're going to be more likely to do it. They're going to see his image. Just name placement. Uh, just keep doing what you're doing, man. Just spread the word and encourage people to do it. Just vote the right way. Vote for Sliwa. Vote for Ramses Frias, man. Thank you for coming to the show. We enjoyed talking to you. You're here. You're welcome anytime. And people, come to his event tomorrow if you're able to make it. Go support him. Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
So I didn't speak very eloquently in my 3 minute rant before, but it had to be said the way it had to be said to get the message across. I don't mean any disrespect to the conservative influencers out
I
there.
do.
I've met a lot of them, and they're very nice people, but they're getting their information from polls, and they're getting it from Polymarket, which is a gambling website that says Curtis Lewa has less than 1% chance to win. That doesn't mean he's getting less than 1% of the vote. That's not a poll. That's the odds makers who are believing all the other BS that everyone else is believing. But it's not true. Curtis Lewa is going to get between 30 and 40% of the vote. Okay, and he could win with that. I want to hammer that home there. That it is definitely possible for him to win. So just put the message out there. Cuomo's not an option. You know, one piece of trash or another is not going to solve the problem. You had 12 years of Democrat mayors, and New York kept getting worse and worse every single year. The only way to fix it is to put a Republican in office, and you have to do it now while we have a legitimate chance, or it'll be too late. And finally, I will be boxing in Atlantic City on Sunday at Showboat Atlantic City. I will be posting the links on my social media. If you want to come and support, come and support. Tickets are $30. I'm not doing this for money. I don't get any of the ticket price money. You could go and watch a bunch of fights all day, including myself. And the live stream is unfortunately is $15. It's not free. Once again, I don't get any of that, but I will post it if you guys want to put together a watch party if you can't make it to Atlantic City. But I will be returning to the ring for the first time in 9 years this Sunday in Atlantic City. And the real fight is in New York, though. We need to fight the communism that's coming. But for entertainment purposes, if you guys want to watch and cheer me on, I'd appreciate it. But with that being said, passing it back to the hostess with the mostest, Rose Angel Perez.
And wait. Before she says, I just want to say one thing. Conservatives out there in New York, if I find out you voted for Cuomo, you're all getting wedgies.
Oh,
I
and to
just feel
yeah, I'd rather throw some of these influencers off the Brooklyn Bridge if it means
Wait, don't say things like
preventing
that. You're
communism
just
in New
joking.
York.
You're just joking.
we are just joking. Look, I have to
No
say,
violence other than
don't
boxing.
to be honest, like I don't mind jokes. I don't even mind cuss words. The thing that irritates me the most is people injecting their opinions into the way any of us should move. Last I checked, is my vote. And then the way I started to see it is like, no, this is the big reason why I walked away from, and I we walk away from anything that feels a little bit too constrictive, and you're gonna start shaming people who want to vote for voting. We're trying to get more people to the polls. Ultimately, people need to vote for who they feel guided to vote for. So that's the only thing I'm gonna say. I did really enjoy your rant, Mark. Just so you know.
Glad you did.
And good luck to you in Atlantic City. That is congratulations. And I'm not sure if I can make it because I have an event that day, but I don't know. I think we should figure out how to do a watch party. And Ramses, good lots of luck to you. Thank you so much for sharing your
On,
time with us today.
on
Thank you.
next week's show, I'll have a belt around my shoulder after the win.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right, listen, we got to keep winning the battles, and we have won some battles. For those of you that think that the people that are in these boxes that you see on the screen or people that we've been connected to, it's not just pipe dreams. I get struggle sessioned a lot in my private communications where people are like, why are you wasting your time even covering politics? One of the hardest pills was realizing that everything in life is politics. Even relationships have become political, and I kind of don't even like that either. It's invaded our sacred spaces. When I'm in with family, I really just want to be with family. I don't want to feel like I'm at a debate stage, and when I'm not even running for office, I'll leave that to people like Ramses and Curtis and, all that's coming up. But thank you everyone for being here, and Cozy, always a pleasure to be co-hosting the space with you. All right, mi gente, everyone who's tuning in. Oh, I did want to read a comment that we had on Rumble. Some comments to us. Everyone in this chat is part of the difference. And this is from Tralala. I lived in Jackson Heights for 7 years. One set of criminals always seemed to be replaced by others. Always a drug den on 90th Street. It's great to see a person bringing change to that area. So yeah, congratulations, Ramses. I just wanted to share that
Thank you. Thank
we
you.
are making a difference. You are making a difference, and people are seeing your work. And listen, we got to use the bochinche line. Each one, tell a friend, like Kevin likes to say some, tell someone, share someone, comment, go on the messenger, have a little cafecito bochinche party. Let's spread this word that common sense folks are on New York City Ticket. Bye, guys. Muchas
Good
All
luck,
right.
bendiciones.
Ramses.
Take care.
Good
God
time
See,
with
bless you
you.
all.
join us again next Monday. Janine, who is running for Brooklyn Borough President, is our next guest. So Monday live, 8 p.m. on Cafecito Break, YouTube, X, and Rumble. I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Take care, y'all. God bless you.
Good night.